feel like I haven't filmed a video in my office for so long, but for some reason today it just felt right to kind of cozy up in my home office. I've got some herbal tea, leggings and fuzzy socks on. It's like 40 degrees in Minnesota today, so I'm just trying to stay cozy and productive because it's been a week. And if you follow me on social media, you definitely know that there has been a little bit of OnlyFans drama going on, which I'm going to address at the end of this video. As you can tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about how to become a top 0% creator on OnlyFans. So about a month ago when I hit the 0%, I tweeted out very excited that I hit that milestone, and then in my last OnlyFans video, I mentioned how I am a top 0% creator. And since then, I've gotten a ton of questions from girls asking how to do this, what does it take, you know, what are the requirements? And to be honest, I don't know. There isn't like a rule book for it. However, I've come up with a list, and based on my own experience of being on the site for 10 months, there have definitely been a few factors that I think play into your percentage as a creator on the site. So we're just going to dive deep into this topic today and talk about what I think makes your percentage go up or down. However, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. I really want to hit 100K. I don't know, by the end of the year, maybe? It's been a wild ride so far this year, so it could happen before the new year, but definitely hit subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the bell because I always shout out the first comment on my social media, so be sure to be following me on Instagram as well. And if you are new here, I make a ton of OnlyFans content, so I'm going to link the playlist to all my OnlyFans videos up above as well as in the description, so definitely check out those videos if you haven't already. And at the end of every single OnlyFans video, I always do an update personally on how much I've made, what percentage I'm in, how many fans I have, and all of that. So if you're curious about my progress, stay until the end and we'll talk about that. Also, I do need to update you guys at the end of this video about the issues that I personally faced and how I almost lost my account this week. One last thing before we get started, don't forget to check out my OnlyFans related merch. It's always in the bar down below. If you got it, monetize it. Don't forget to use the code OnlyFans in all caps for 20% off. Go treat yourself to a shirt, hoodie, crew neck, whatever you'd like. And then don't forget to tag me on social media so I can see you in my merch. That would just make my day. Anyway, now that we've said all that, let's get started. So if you're new to OnlyFans, you may have noticed that underneath your statements tab, there is a little bar that says top % creator. If you're confused by what this means, you want to be as close to 0 as possible. So when you're first starting out, this number is most likely going to be like top 98% of creators or top 96 because you're a brand new account. Basically, this just means that 96% accounts are doing better than you. But as you continue to use the site, earn money, grow fans, and all of that, you should see the percentage start to go down closer to 0, meaning if you are in the top 10% of creators, there are only 10% of users that are doing better than you on the site. Now, what exactly does this mean? You know, are there like 96% of people making more money than you? Do they have more fans? There isn't really like a guideline laid out for what this entails. However, I remember when I first started out on the website, I came across either like a video or a post by Trisha Paytas, and I saw in her post that she was in like the top 0% of creators, and I knew I'm not making as much as she was, so I wouldn't be in the same tier as she is. However, after about 8 months, I finally hit top 0% of creators. So why am I in the same category as someone that is making a lot more than I am on the site? Because of this, we know that it isn't necessarily just how much money you're making. I think a lot of things definitely play into this. I've narrowed it down to about 4, and then I have a list of other things that may play a part, but I'm curious to hear if you guys have any comments or ideas as to what factors into this after you hear with what I've kind of narrowed it down to. Since there isn't exactly like a formula for how to become the top 0% creators, I can't really confirm if this is true or false, but I mean, these tips definitely can't hurt. So after months and months of growth and just using OnlyFans, here is my list of what I think helps bring you to the top 0% of creators like me. Number 1, definitely consistency. Ever since I started my page, I've been posting at least 1 post a day on OnlyFans, and then when I started doing promos, I was posting multiple posts per day. So there's constantly new photos, new videos, new posts. The number of posts just gets higher and higher and higher, and you see that consistency on your page. That just shows that you are active, you are engaging, all of that. I think it's very similar to the way that like Instagram or YouTube's algorithm works, where they always tell you, you know, consistency is key to growth, because it helps push your content out there in the algorithm because they know that you're active and that you're constantly producing new content. So OnlyFans may not have an explore page, so they're not really pushing anything out into their algorithm, but I definitely think being consistent plays a part, because something that I heard when I started out on OnlyFans about like the percent of creators is that it's not always accurate because there are so many inactive accounts that people create and then don't use or just aren't really using. So I think you have to kind of push past those inactive accounts to get to like a higher percent. So in the beginning, if you just start out and then suddenly you're like boom at 60% of creators right away, I think it's because a lot of accounts are just dead and they're not being used. So all you have to do is start posting and that will give you that initial push. When I started back in January, things were very, very different on OnlyFans. So if this doesn't work, I'm sorry, but from what I've heard and what I remember, I'm pretty sure that plays a part, just because out of like all of the accounts, there are a lot that people have stopped using or are inactive or just aren't posting on anymore. So that kind of helps you, if you are consistent, push past that. So consistency is key. The second thing on my list is growth, new subs. You know, you want to make sure that your platform is growing. You're not just like stuck. And definitely there will be times where you feel like something isn't working, where you may have been gaining a lot of fans in the beginning and then you plateaued, and I think this is totally normal. It just means that you just might need to be promoting more than you were, or maybe you stopped promoting because you hit like a certain peak amount. But especially when I'm gaining multiple new fans a day, do I notice the percentage go, is it higher and higher or lower and lower? Because you want to be at the top, but it's a small number. So whichever way you look at it, this summer my platforms definitely started to take off, OnlyFans included, and that's when I really noticed my percentage kind of just like jump. And I really think it has to play with just, you know, new people finding you, subscribing, gaining fans. Again, very similar to Instagram or YouTube. You know, you want to see that growth, you want to be gaining engagement and have new people coming to subscribe to you. So I definitely think that plays a big part, because it's showing that people are interested and curious and that they are paying to see your content. So I think that definitely must play a part in getting you to the top 0%. New people have to constantly be subscribing. Going off of this, my next thing that I think definitely plays a part is renewals. Having subscribers that are already subscribed to you turn on the rebill so that they stay subscribed and have that monthly renewal. They're not canceling their membership. This shows that the fans are happy, that they like the content, that they're staying there for more. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but I definitely think that must play a part, because someone could totally like catfish, or not even catfish, but like get a lot of people subscribing, but if nobody is turning on their rebill subscription to stay subscribed, then they're not doing something right. And you know, sometimes people just like see it and like what they see but then decide to cancel. Like, it's not necessarily saying that you're doing something wrong, but it definitely means that you're doing something right if they're staying subscribed and they want to continue to see your content. So growth, new fans, keeping your old fans, just constantly kind of like gaining an audience and then keeping your audience. I'm fairly certain this plays a big part. The next thing that I think factors into your percentage on OnlyFans is income. You want to be making money. The site wants to be making money. They take a percentage, so they want you to be making money, and the top creators on OnlyFans are definitely making money. Like I mentioned earlier about how Trisha was in the top 0% of OnlyFans creators and she was making a lot of cash on that website. I may not be making that same amount of bread, but I'm definitely earning a lot of money, and I can totally see how you need this consistency and growth and income to kind of show, like, it's multifaceted. I don't think you necessarily can just be good at one of these things and get to the top percent. I think you need to be able to have all of them kind of going on at the same time to show that you're good at what you're doing, and that will kind of bump your account up. But income is like number one. I think you have to be making at least consistent money on OnlyFans. This one I can almost guarantee is real, because on days when I don't make as much as other days, my percentage will dip a little bit. I'll go from literally like 0.7% to 0.9 if I make a couple $100s less a day than I did the days before. Like, you're going downhill. It's like the stock market. And then if I have a really good day, maybe I send out new photos or packages and everyone opens those, I peak again and I spike and my percentage goes back closer to 0. If you start earning less money, your percentage isn't as great. But if you're making more and more money, even if it does kind of fluctuate a little bit, you will be closer to 0%. I think if I remember correctly, I had just hit 70,000 for my gross income when I hit 0%, but honestly, honestly, I can't remember because it's been quite the blur, and that's why I try to always include my stats in every single OnlyFans video to kind of show you where I'm at. So if you look at older videos, I'm sure some of them say what percentage and how much I've made, so you can kind of like pinpoint where I was along the journey. And this kind of will tie into me talking about where I currently am. And I know I'm talking big numbers here, but even on a smaller scale, I bet that if you're used to making like $50 a day or $300 a week, there's consistency in that and there's earnings in that. And then if your average goes down to maybe only $30 a day or like just $100 a week instead of what you were doing before, that would definitely play a part with your percentage and affect it. It doesn't necessarily have to be as much income that Trisha Paytas is making or myself. Like, I think it just kind of plays a part into how you're doing personally on the account. Those are my biggest thoughts and my biggest factors into what I think kind of plays a part in how to become a top 0% creator. If you have an OnlyFans account and you've watched your own percentage kind of go up and down, I'm so curious to hear your thoughts and what you think plays a part. Did I forget anything? Is there anything else that you think may affect it? Something else that I think might play a part is engagement from your fans. So the number of likes that you get, tips that you receive, comments. This shows engagement. We always talk about that on YouTube and Instagram, you know, like the post, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, comment down below because it helps with my content, which I say all the time because it does. When YouTube sees that people like what you're posting and they're engaging in it, like TikTok, oh my gosh, that's why you want people to comment on your TikToks. Like the For You page is so curated, they know exactly how many seconds you're watching a TikTok for, so that they can show you more TikToks like that. So the same goes for OnlyFans. I'm sure, you know, if they see that fans are liking your posts, that must play a part in your percentage because it shows that they're happy with it, that there's engagement, that they're active users. I think a lot of these tips can be applied generally to a lot of various social media platforms, but I think with OnlyFans it's especially crucial because, you know, money's involved. There isn't really a way for people to find your account like that. It's completely up to you to promote and get your link out there, which is empowering in itself, but a very difficult job, especially when you are just starting out. If you need more tips on that, highly recommend watching my other videos because I talk about how to grow, where to promote, and all of that as well. Moving on to my OnlyFans update. If you do not follow me on Instagram or Twitter, that's where I mainly talked about this. Last Wednesday, a little over a week, and then 2 weeks from when this video comes out, my OnlyFans account was temporarily disabled because of third-party content, essentially the promos that I was doing. Even though I had the consent from the girls doing the promos to promote their account and I used their link, it like wasn't enough to not violate terms, so my account was at risk. I go more into detail on my podcast, so if you want to hear like the full story, because it took me like 50 minutes to talk about, like almost an hour to explain, highly recommend listening to that episode of my podcast, Breaking Up with Makayla Samountry. I think I titled it The Dark Side of OnlyFans, How I Almost Lost My Account. So highly recommend listening to that for the full story, but basically because of everything going on, I've had to spend a couple of weeks editing my account to make sure that nothing violated their new terms and conditions. OnlyFans is constantly updating their guidelines, which I guess is great, except now it's causing older stuff that may not have violated their website terms are now breaking the rules. So I've had to spend a lot of time fixing things. They paused my account so I wasn't able to post, reply to messages, take out money, and we fixed that, but that's what's been going on because I haven't been able to do promos yet. I'm still in communication with people at OnlyFans directly because I want to continue to do promos, but there are a lot of issues with using third-party content now, so I need to fix that. Hopefully it's still allowed after I figure everything out. If it is, I will reply to everyone. I mean, I just can't really start opening those DMs when I can't like answer your question about it yet, and I don't want to lose anyone's place in line because I always respond to the people that have been waiting the longest. I always scroll down to the bottom of my message requests and I work backwards from there. So hopefully I can still do promos. If you are curious about it or just want to like get your spot in line, because I know I said that my response time was about a week. It will definitely be longer than a week at this point because the promo requests are building up, but if you just want to get your spot in line for when I get to your message, highly recommend doing this if promos are still able to happen. DM me on Instagram for your spot in line for a promo and then I will make sure to get to everyone. I don't really have like a response rate time yet because of everything going on. Hopefully my account is fixed. It's definitely irritating, and if you want the full story, listen to my podcast. Highly recommend. I'll try to link it down below for you. But for the current stats on my OnlyFans account, it is the middle of October. I started my account in January, so it's been just about exactly 10 months. Wow, that was Midwest. So it's been just about exactly 10 months on the platform. This is off the top of my head, so it might be off by a little bit, but currently I have made almost $90,000 grossly this year off of OnlyFans. After the 20% cut, it is $72,000 right now that I received in my bank account this whole year. Monthly, I am averaging at about $14,000, $12,000, $13,000 a month. Unfortunately, this month was a little bit lower than what was expected because I wasn't able to post for a week, so I wasn't able to release new content. I don't think people were able to subscribe or find my account when it was disabled because I have about a 3-day period where no purchases came in, which for my platform, I typically gain a handful of new fans every single day. So when my account was disabled, I don't think anyone was able to find it. So I definitely lost a lot of potential money this month, promos aside, but that's where I am currently with my account. And as you know, because this whole video was about it, I am currently lingering in the top 0%. It definitely changes, you know, like 0.6, 0.8, 0.9. I may even be back in the 1% right now just because this last week and a half has been a lot and I haven't been able to post, so I was losing consistency. I didn't get any new fans for a couple of days because my account was disabled, so I didn't get the growth. I was losing money, so the income went down and there wasn't a lot of engagement. Just kind of shows that you need to do those things because I wasn't able to do that for a couple of weeks and I went back to the 1%. But now I'm back 0.9% that I've been working on my account and all of that. I think that's everything though that I wanted to say in today's video. I really hope this helped. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on what determines your percentage on OnlyFans and what you think is needed to become a top 0% creator. It's definitely possible and accessible to all users. I firmly believe this. It just might take a little bit of grit and hard work. Feel free to shamelessly plug your OnlyFans account in the comments down below. It's a great way to get your link out there and promote. I know a lot of girls have actually had success and fans do go through the comments because I've received comments from people saying the link isn't working or what's your link if they comment. So shameless plug down there. Don't forget to DM me on Instagram if you were interested in a promo. And you know what? While we're at it, since I just said shameless plug for you guys, shameless plug for me. Go follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I post a ton of OnlyFans content and a ton of other content not related to OnlyFans. If this isn't your cup of tea, I'm gonna go finish my cup of tea and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys next week with my new video. Bye! I was so hurt and upset that I never gave him another chance.